outside of the games have been played, so there's breaking news this week that happened. We kind of talked about this offseason that this was potentially going to happen. So the Sixers have been stripped of the second rounders for 2023 and 2024 because of our early free agent discussions, because we're the only ones doing it, I guess. Followed by that report, there was another report that the NBA and NBAPA are going to revisit the punishment for such discussions with free agents. So, guys, what are your thoughts on this punishment that we're getting?
Well, I always wondered how teams, sources can announce a signing on the first day of free agency. There you go. Like, I think we guilty.
Denver announced
I personally think we're guilty, but I personally think
everyone is.
Everyone does it. Because it's if I'm an agent and I have a free agent on your team and a guy that's under contract on your team, I can happen to call you about my player that's under contract. And if the conversation dips into the free agent, that's technically illegal, right? Now, you telling me that don't happen? Come on, man. That's not new. I mean, they're doing it, and I guess it's only an issue when that guy signs.
Yeah. Everyone, there were like 6 teams talking to PJ Tucker. We just ended up with him.
Yeah, I mean,
Bucks were involved. The Heat, Heat doesn't count because I guess, but a bunch of teams wanted him.
Yeah, so I just, and all of these people, these reporters that are announcing it, they're talking to an agent. They're talking to someone from the team. Depends on which guy it is. You can tell whether they talk to the team or the player and the player's agent. Based on who's reporting it, you could do your research and kind of know who they kind of talk to. So I think the league is trying to do something and to watch it or cover it up, and that's why I think penalties have been more common. But I don't know how you clean it up. I don't know how you clean it up to the point where it's not going to happen. I think if people are going to continue to do it, I think that they're going to continue to maybe wait, or they can continue to stop talking to your sources, because the sources are the ones that are out them.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's agents, and they could be agents that have another client. Their client isn't getting signed. So it's just so many different things, different reasons and ways this can get out. I just don't know how they clean it up. I think the one thing about professional sports and basketball specifically that I know about is whatever rules the league put in, is people they hire people and get people to live in the gray area.
I'd love to hear how they judge the parameters on the punishments too. Like, what's 1 second rounder versus 2 second rounders? The conversations were longer. I don't.
Yeah, I think it was.
You guys flirted too hard.
It was probably more than one guy.
Yeah, I guess it was House and it was Tucker. They said.
Yeah.
Should be about,
just go by whatever they did in the past, but I think the multiple player.
I think it should go by the contract, right? Because what if it's 2 vet min guys, and then you got some other guy that signed for $200 million? The $200 million should be weighted higher, right? That's what I think. Like Brunson, for instance. Brunson's punishment for the Knicks should be worse than the Sixers, even though it was 2 players.
Why should it be punishment for Brunson? His daddy's on the staff. You think they didn't talk to his daddy?
I'm only saying that. No, I think that'd be BS.
I'm just saying, it's his father, and
they're investigating like him.
It's his father, and they have a close relationship.
Can't talk to his dad about contract.
There's no way it wasn't a conversation.
If it were a company in stocks, would it be insider trading just because it's his dad? I think it still would be.
I don't know. Depends on, it also depends on how much money you make from it.
That's my point. Brunson's big money. What do a house in Tucker equal? Like $12 million?
Yeah, but it's still a lot of money though. The money I think is there, but I think it's also the outsized view of how it helps the team. To me, is the biggest factor. Other teams wanting PJ and people seeing him as a guy that the Sixers really, really needed and really, really wanted. Brunson going there, so it's almost like that guy's getting the guy, and they're pulling him from another team for no compensation. They say wanted him back. I think Miami wanted PJ back, didn't get him back. I think the Mavericks wanted Jalen back, but kind of didn't want to pay what the Knicks were willing to pay.
Mm-hmm.
With having Luka, you probably couldn't commit to a guy that's, essentially the same position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It just I guess the thing that sucks too is that like they're having a meeting about maybe getting rid of the punishment altogether or the rule altogether. It's like, so what? Sixers are going to get the worst punishment before they abolish it. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just, it's you almost have a grace period where talks can happen, and then you figure out whether the deals are going to be done. But I mean, I think the difference. One thing I think that can kind of help it is the NFL route, which a lot of people don't like that, is having free agency before the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
Because during draft time is when free agency is discussed the most.
Yeah.
So what, a week before? So they talking about these drafts and these trades, and they're not talking about free agents?
Of course they are. Yeah. I mean, it's dumb.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
For them not to be, because free agency is a part of kind of who you draft.
Yeah, of course.
It all goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I'm not going to draft this guy if I can re-sign this guy.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, really. I mean, either way, they're definitely tied together.
Are we going to lose this guy? Then we got to draft him. And you don't do research and have a phone call about that?
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah. It's like having teams be blind to it all.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So I think free agency before the draft can help a lot of that, because that's where all this conversation is happening. You got a trade opportunity at the draft to make a trade to bring Eric Gordon in. So we're not going to talk to his agent. If he's, somebody, and we're not going to talk to you think that talking to PJ Tucker's agent and getting a guarantee, and we got a chance to trade for Eric Gordon? How do you know not to make that trade? Because you already confirmed it with the agent.
Yeah.
Now, this is just me talking, throwing out a scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm sure it's happened.
I'm sure it happens.
Yeah, of course it does.
I don't think I don't know how they can really officially do their job and be good at it without doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why in some ways it makes sense to have the free agency before the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Sixer fans think it's the NBA just taking another shot at the Sixers, because I believe someone made a point. It's kind of funny because I forgot this, that DeAndre Jordan was probably one of the first free agents picked up this offseason.
Yeah, he was within minutes.
And it's like, why aren't the Nuggets being investigated for picking up DeAndre Jordan?
Same thing happened.
Yeah.
There's no way you can come in as a professional and you have to look at NBA players as their own entity, their own corporation. There's no way you can have an offer for your corporation and make a decision within minutes unless it's a maximum contract in the place you want to be.
Yeah.
They call you and say at 12 a.m. or whatever it is, so we offer you the most we can offer you, and that's where you want to be. You like, let's get the deal done. Let's work out the parameters. Deal done.
Yep.
That I can believe can happen right away. But you would be expecting that if that happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good. I mean, good luck. I don't know what they're going to agree to have this fixed or worked on, but
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
It's also too, what kind of investigation is this? Like, you don't have phone records. Well, how do you really prove that there was? Unless someone admitted it, which I doubt anyone did. So how do you really have enough to take 2 picks away? How much hard evidence do you have?
Hey, watch out for them sources, man.
Yeah. It's
That's
the leagues,
true.
man.
Them sources got sources other places too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if a source with the Sixers is, the source with, just say, the Magic.
But even if Sham said,
what I'm saying, so you got, I'm not calling out anybody's name. I'm
picking an example. James, any
a source with the Sixers and that same person got a source with the Magic. If you want to get information from the Magic, these aren't when you got sources, they aren't give relationships. They're give relationships. So when they're giving the source something, the source is giving them something.
What are you hearing type thing?
That's the part that we don't understand with these sources.
Mm-hmm.
The sources is giving something back to whoever they get their sources.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going both ways.
This was really apparent during the Harden trade talks. That was really obvious.
During the what?
During the Harden trade talks with Simmons. It was obvious, who was on what team and who was giving information out on whose behalf. It was man, this is a joke.
So this is, so you just, that's why I say you got to be careful with your sources, because sources give up information too.
Yeah. Be wary of those sources.
Sources said.
Yeah, per sources.
I never met sources, but I heard he has a lot of information.
Yeah, he's got a scoop on all 3 teams in the league.
Sources are dangerous, man.